Net zero could create hundreds of thousands of new green jobs, but stronger government support is needed, a briefing said today. Photo. Drill or drop. The Climate Change Committee, CCC, which advises ministers, said the UK risked missing out on opportunities to capture low-carbon market shares by not supporting skills that attract investment to the UK. The CCC said manufacturing priorities, like electric vehicles and battery production, faced competitive pressure from new green subsidies in the United States and European Union. The UK must defend its competitive advantage in sectors such as hydrogen and carbon capture in the face of these new international pressures, the CCC said. The target of net zero emissions by 2050 had already created 250,000 jobs, the CCC said. Estimates suggest 135,000 to 725,000 new low-carbon jobs could be created during the transition. But the CCC said a hands-off approach from the government would not work. The opportunities for new jobs in low-carbon sectors would need government support to reskill and upskill the workforce in key areas. It said options for developing the net-zero workforce were not being considered systematically across government and called for strong, targeted support in the forthcoming Net Zero and Nature Workforce Action Plan. Lord Deben, the CCC chairman, said, "The UK has committed to net zero. The only question is whether the government intends to get there in a way that benefits workers or leaves them behind. This is a unique moment to tailor our approach to skills and jobs, in the certainty of achieving the legal goal." A net zero workforce means secure employment for the future. This is an opportunity for the government to bring real meaning to leveling up. The CCC said most UK workers would see no major impacts from the transition to net zero. The largest changes were likely in sectors with a core role in delivering net zero, about a fifth of the current total workforce, it said. Two-thirds of core workers are in sectors that could grow over the transition, the CCC said, particularly in construction and retrofitting buildings and battery manufacturing. Around 7% of UK workers are in sectors that would gradually redirect their products and services. These are largely sectors, such as cement and steel, that will transition from use of fossil fuels to low-carbon methods. Less than 1% of UK workers are in high-emitting sectors that are likely to phase down over the transition, the CCC said. This includes oil and gas, where extraction must decline. The CCC said the UK labour market had seen significant transitions in the past, including the move towards a largely service-based economy and the earlier decline of coal and steel in the 1970s and 1980s. Net zero need not carry the same risks, the CCC said. Decarbonization would reduce demand for certain goods and services, but the few sectors where there would be job losses would see a pace of change more gradual than the coal and steel transitions of the past, the CCC said. Clarity on government's aims would give businesses and workers time to respond, it said. Categories. Climate, slider tagged as 2050, CCC, Climate Change Committee, decline, emissions, extraction, gas, government, investment, jobs, Lord Deben, low carbon, net zero, oil, risk, transition, work adblock test, why.